This the largest marathon field ever assembled anywhere in the world, and facing a journey through the streets of London that takes in the heart of Dockland, as well as some of the tourist attractions that abound in this great city. There are two starting points on either side of Blackheath, which over 3 centuries ago was the burial ground for victims of the Great Plague, but this morning alive with the thousands whose imagination and enthusiasm has been caught. The starting gun, manned by men of the Royal Artillery, a 25-pounder, and the athletes wait for the signal to start their journey of 26 miles, 385 yards. Away they go, the elite men and the elite women, who are joined by first-time male marathon runners, known as the Virgin Men. Joyce Smith just on the edge of shot, the women's favourite going very quickly away, and the men's pack has really gone off very, very quickly. These elite athletes are followed by men who have run a marathon before.
The second Gillette London Marathon well and truly underway, and it really has taken our capital city by storm. This has surely taken over from the boat race, even from Derby Day, with 18,000 runners, 3,000 helpers, and up to 500,000 supporters. And those supporters may well prove significant to those tail-enders, the fun runners. 51% of these competitors have never run a marathon before. 1,600 teachers, 1,400 engineers, 290 unemployed. The favourite out in front, Hugh Jones, incidentally. 52 retired workers, 33 stockbrokers, spirit of the occasion. And many have asked why, and I suppose it's because man's greatest moment of happiness may be to be tested. There's Jimmy Savile, tested beyond what he thought might be his breaking point and not failed. And there'll be no failures today, just to make the 26 miles, 385 yards. And there's no loneliness of the long-distance runner here. It's about camaraderie and friendship. It really is. Bernie Clifton there, the comedian, with Oswald, the ostrich, on his way. And thousands of pounds, surely, will be raised for charity. Most of these people running, not just for the two great prongs of runners about to join up.
They run the first 2.5 miles on separate courses and then join on a dual carriageway, where they run on either side of the dual carriageway for the next 1.5 miles up to 4 miles, and then the whole field joins. Hugh Jones and Grenville Tuck already setting a tremendous pace. They've broken away from the pack, and they really are going very quickly indeed. And that is the point where the women's elite pack and the first-time male marathon runners join up with the fast and experienced runners. That's after 2.5 miles. The leader's already well on the way, and the time for the two leaders at 2 miles was very quick, just over 9 minutes 40 seconds. A late starter, Tony Smith, a policeman from Balham. The stately lines of the Cutty Sock, the fastest T-clipper in history. And that is just beyond the 6 miles mark, and Hugh Jones and Grenville Tuck both well away. Tuck, one of the twins from Aldershot, Jones is. And Bob Wiseman, he's covered 1.5 miles, the second oldest competitor at 79. That's John Drew, a journalist, he's 69, from Canterbury Veterans. Beverly Estanio with him, keeping him company. And meanwhile at Cutty Sock, the field beginning to go through. Dahl of Norway in 3rd place, and then come some Americans. Jeff Wells, McCary is there as well. Pick Grattan from Invicta. Zach Kariason of Denmark is also there. And the field beginning to split already. Thousands of them in each start.
Joyce Smith in the middle of that pack, and she will be cheered every inch of the way. Joyce Smith from Barnet, Watford area, who's been an international for more than 20 years. She's got stern opposition from a couple of very good New Zealand girls, including Lorraine Moller, unbeaten over this distance for 3 years. And they met last time, although Joyce won. Oh, there's Roger Bourbon. Remember him, the waiter, carrying that all the way around, going for a new record this year. And here's Hugh Jones, 26 now, at the Tower, a graduate of Liverpool University, who lives at the moment in Budapest.
Actually, Hugh Jones got away just after 8 miles, and that's Superman going through. Marcus Simpkins is a student at the University of Sussex. Bernie Clifton happily approaching 6 1/4 miles, thoroughly enjoying himself. But what about the footwear? Well, Hugh Jones well on his way. He's a minute clear of Zachariasen of Denmark in second place. Third is Dahl of Norway. And Zachariasen has gone the wrong way. And Dahl takes 20-30 metres out of the day. What desperate luck. Albert Gordon, the oldest competitor, a millionaire banker from America. Approaching Tower Bridge. Now this is just under 13 miles. And Hugh Jones, already exempted by the British Amateur Athletic Board from competing in the trial race for the Commonwealth Games and the European Championships, well, he's proved those selectors to be right, because he's run right away from this field. There are the leaders. Jones leading, Zachariasen now back in second, Dahl third, Mick Grattan fourth, Coppers of America 5, McCary 6, and Jeff Wells 7. Thousands pounding their way over Tower Bridge, and we're looking now for the first woman, and it is JOYCE Smith, going very easily and going very fast. She ran a very fast time through the Cuddy Sark area, and she's still going very quickly.
Hugh Jones in the Isle of Dogs, and although not very well known, many of his good marathons out of this country, he is the reigning 3A's marathon champion. I think that car being waved across and out of his way, really in tremendous form. And the race organiser is expecting a good run from him, and it would be appropriate to see a Londoner win the London Marathon. Ranelagh Harriers, born in North London, Liverpool University, training in Budapest and trained with the Hungarians.
Hugh Jones, as they go over Tower Bridge above him, is underneath at 21 miles. Those athletes we've just been watching are some 8 miles behind. Well, he kept going last year, but here's a man keeping going in the mile now, about a mile from home and on schedule for possibly the world's fastest time, set by Alberto Salazar at 2 hours, 8 minutes, 13 seconds. And enjoying this run is Brendan Foster.
Well, Hugh Jones is running his 9th marathon here. He's led all the way. He's obviously very tired now, but he seems immensely strong. What a place to do it, though, for a Londoner, to do it at home in London. And what a courageous way to do it, to lead all the way in the marathon. The women's leader, JOYCE Smith, who's now in Tower Walk. She's almost a mile ahead of her rival, Lorraine Muller. And Hugh Jones in Birdcage Walk. You can almost see the finish, and he's lucky he's able to respond to that.
The time is very fast indeed. Very, very close to Salazar's world best. But he's still got a little over half a mile to go. Dahl in second place has got away from Mick Grattan of Invicta. Wells and McCary together. Well, here's somebody well on the way to the finish now, being roared on by Chris Brasher, the course director. And Hugh Jones can see the finish, and it's going to be very fast, outside a world best, very close to a British best, and certainly the fastest marathon ever run in the United States. Athletes still going through the dock area as Hugh Jones pounds his way to the finish now, and the time very, very fast indeed. The fastest marathon ever run in the United Kingdom. 2 hours, 9 minutes, 26 seconds. And the second fastest marathon ever by a Brit. Now, the Ian Thompson has ever run faster. A magnificent piece of running. And he's been front running all the way. He's made his own pace. The temperature 60. Not easy for marathon running. The finish. These some of the casualties as Dahl of Norway comes up now in second place. Dahl, who's broken away in the last mile from Grattan of Invicta. The tall Norwegian, got a best time of just over 2 hours, 11 minutes, has been in the first 2 or 3 all the way. So Dahl in second place, and Mick Grattan comes through for Great Britain into third place. Best previous time, just over 2 hours 16, so he's slashed 4 minutes off that. A fine run indeed. Mick Grattan, the Inter-Counties 20 miles champion.
Well, what a storming finish from Hugh Jones, and that augurs well, and I wonder whether we'll get the same sort of finish from Joyce Smith. She's actually looking very tired. She really is being egged on all the way. She's easily recognised. She's been at the forefront of British athletics for more than 20 years. She's determined to run in Los Angeles in the marathon, and she'll be 47 then, and why not? She's running faster than she's ever run before.
Well, there the first 10 placings. Hugh Jones confirmed with the second fastest marathon by Britain and the fastest ever in the United Kingdom. Oh, we're all waiting now for the appearance of the winner of the women's race. Undoubtedly, it's going to be Joyce Smith of Great Britain. The question now is, can she break the British marathon record, which she set in this race 12 months ago? 2 hours, 29 minutes, 57 seconds. Joyce being encouraged all the way, not just by the crowd, but by fellow athletes, and now being guided to the other side of the road to finish in the sort of splendid isolation she deserves. There's a special finishing funnel for the First Lady across the line, and it is certainly going to be Joyce Smith, preceded by a delighted Chris Brasher, who's organised this race with John Disley so well. Joyce is looking very tired. The early pace was perhaps too quick. She knows how close she is to that record. She must be able to see the clock above the finishing line. John Disley looks at his watch and shouts at Joyce Smith. 2 hours, 29:57 to beat. Can she do it? Again, the encouragement from John Disley. Joyce, coached by her husband Brian, now 44, who first ran for Great Britain as long ago as 1960 at 800 metres. And she will certainly set new British record figures. She's over 10 seconds inside the old figures, and so Britons have won both races. A new British record for Joyce Smith, and the fastest UK race time ever for Hugh Jones.
Hugh, many congratulations. The satisfaction in winning a marathon, but that must be especially sweet.
Yes, certainly the time's better than I expected 2 hours ago.
Your personal best, and in fact the second fastest marathon time of all time by a British runner.
Yeah, I believe so.
You did it the hard way, though, from the front. Was that the plan?
No, it wasn't really. The start being downhill and Grenville Tuck taking me out, you know, it led to an faster early pace than I expected. I felt fairly comfortable, so I just tried to keep it going.
Well, Joyce, many, many congratulations. The heroine of the London Marathon yet again.
Thank you. A bit relieved.
Still catching the breath. Now, 10 seconds or so inside your time of last year. How do you account for that on a day when everybody tells us the weather wasn't good for marathon running, it's too hot?
Yeah, well, a little actually disappointed with the time, really, because I'd have liked 2:27, but then it was warm. So let's hope that that's the reason, which makes Hugh's run even better.
Well, at the head of the race, a triumph for British athletes of world-class times, Hugh Jones and Joyce Smith. And what a splendid festival this has been. We now know over 16,300 started, and the final count seems certain to show that a world record figure of over 15,000 finished. People of all ages from all over the world, running shoulder to shoulder, sharing laughter and pain, and helping each other through. Sharing a common experience they'll never forget.